It's All Around You is a new record. It'll make you shit. Tortoise new record. It's All Around You with a cock on it. Wait, that doesn't make sense. I've been listening to all these bloopers, all this Jerry Lewis shit. Dean Martin. Motherfuckers just going off. Promoting their new movie, The Caddy. It'll make you shit. So that's my Tortoise take on it. No, positive. What's positive?
It's a beautiful cover. Pretty cover.
Yeah. You know, it's like ties in with our music because it's like organic, but it's digitally fucked up and manipulated. Our music's kind of like that, you know. People always say like, you know, cinematic, pastoral, whatnot. You know, that fits in. We didn't have any good ideas, man. Somebody wanted Odermatt. Somebody wanted what's her name? You know, we'd look at the shit and it'd just be like, man, Crumble. Well, that was cool. You hated that. You know, we were just fucked. You know, we were just sitting around like no titles, no artwork. You know, clocks ticking. We asked people in New York that did the Standards cover. We asked them for like to send us any ideas or something. They sent us this guy's shit, and it was just kind of like. It was like one look, kind of, basically, and we were like, that's the shit, man, you know.
Beautiful.
You know, and now it's like, you know, of course humans, you know, your question about the question, it's like, humans will be like, what does it mean, you know, like, you know, there ain't shit, you know. It's like, I could sit here all day and make associations, but there ain't shit to do with it, you know what I mean? It's like, song titles, whatever, you know, somebody comes up with some shit. You know.
Yeah. I know what. I mean, I've read some criticism of the new record. Like I've read people, oh yeah, they haven't broken any new ground on this. It's just like, I mean, this is easily. I mean, just from the rehearsals that we did, it's the most complex music that we've ever made,
right. Without a doubt.
You know.
Right.
I mean, and you know, and it's not even about like reinventing yourself. It's all a continuum, you know. It's like you go in phases, you know. I mean, we've all gotten a lot better as instrumentalists, like individually and like the way we interact as a group, you know. And it's all about like motion, trying to keep things moving forward. It's all it's ever been about, really.
never played with people that made music like that. Anything else I'd been involved with was like more immediate, more like kind of like, even if it would always be kind of about like dancing, or you know what I mean. And so for me, I mean, it was super weird when I joined that band, you know. But I mean, I'd been interested in like similar ideas, but coming from more, like I said, like go-go or funk, you know, like just not the getting tired of the stereotypical like power trio chemistry or whatever, you know, and wanting to work with more rhythmic stuff and strip down, like, you know, elements of dub and like African music, stuff like that, you know, just like not just go for the easiest shit, you know. And I remember when I joined, I was thinking this is the weirdest shit I ever played on, you know. It's just kind of like, I was like, all right, you know. But I've been like, also like before then, just like getting into Sun Ra and like, you know, like more kind of out big band stuff. And that kind of showed me, to me as a musician, that taught me that you're not always blowing your brains out playing music, you know what I mean? That you just fucking, like, to me it's like I can just sit out like 80% of a song, you know, if that's what the song sounds, if that's what makes the song work, you know what I mean? So that was kind of like with Tortoise, that's kind of like shit I was thinking about, you know. In the early stages I was more like, I played percussion on a lot of stuff and little keyboard bits, you know. So I wasn't as incorporated as it is now as far as like, you know, songwriting and, you know. But yeah, I mean, there was the whole Nirvana shit, and then there was the whole like DJ culture of like the, you know, the mid 90s or whenever that was, where it was kind of like, I mean, the world got tired of the power trio or whatever, you know. It's like, you know, I didn't listen to my Husker Du records for many years there, you know what I mean? Shit like that. But now it's back. Now DJ culture kind of fell off. didn't come out of nowhere, but, you know, had elements of a lot of stuff. But, you know, I remember thinking, like, okay, when the first tour, it's like, we're going to go to New York. And I remember thinking, like, sure, in Chicago, like, every hipster will be there or whatever. But I remember kind of laughing and thinking, like, well, what's it going to be like in New York? You know, is it going to be like 25 people at some club, you know? But it ended up that we had universal hipster appeal.
Actually, they had asked me to join Tortoise, like, I think around the time that they were doing Millions, but I couldn't afford to, like, go on tour and come back with no money. So I told them no, like, initially. Yeah, I don't really know what expectations people had when I joined the band, you know. I mean, I never really looked at it like that. I was just kind of like, just trying to fit into the mix, you know. I mean, I was super excited just to, like, and like Dan said, I had never made music like that. I was pretty much coming from, like, a jazz, like, I was pretty frustrated with doing the jazz stuff that I was doing, and I just wanted something else, you know, just travel down a different road, you know.
If you're a musician, you talk to more people in person that you touch with your music and that, like, have an experience from your music. And people like us, all we get is, like, one motherfucker a year from England that'll rip us apart. That's all we get, you know what I mean? And you just know it's some fucking bummed out dude, you know? So it's kind of like, it won't be, like, informed, or, you know, it'll kind of just say some wrong shit and you'll be like, well, that's not even true, you know what I mean? I think it's the same dude, just changing his name too, you know? So I mean, it's a weird experience. That's why any question to us, asking us what other people might think, is like, you have no idea, you know what I mean? It's like all you see is a super bias, you know, because somebody that doesn't like your shit isn't gonna wait around and be like, man, if you guys only would have fucking, you know, not played so this way, you know what I mean? Motherfucker, you know, people won't do that, so you just get a bias of, like, you know, which, as far as the ego is concerned, that gives you, like, it makes you think that you're like doing the right thing, or you know, like making creative music, or you know, touching people, like I said, you know. But you get the little barb every once in a while, you know. That shit you sent me.
Departure.
Yeah, this dude called our shit like waiting music for the lounge, waiting to go to hell or something like that. The waiting lounge to hell.
Yeah.
You know. First, I mean, anybody that says like lounge, I just know they're tripping and they think it's like, you know, like 1993 or 4 or something like that, you know. Because, you know, I don't know if that's what somebody hears in our music, then they obviously like have their head wrapped up in some weird shit, you know. Because it's like, you know, I mean, to use dynamics, you know, and like, you know, instruments that aren't traditionally in rock music, you know, it's like, I don't know what, you know. Played Istanbul, we're gonna play Moscow, you know, so it's kind of like branching out and stuff. But yeah, just to like, you know, they're great. They're, you know, yeah. I mean, it's both like tedious and painful and like beautiful at the same time. You know, it's kind of, you know, like Istanbul. It's like I had no idea what that would feel like, you know. And then I called it, man. I was like, it's like south of Spain with a little bit of Brazil thrown in there, and it totally was, man.
Yeah,
I thought, but very different too, yeah.
It's also got the, you know, it's an Islamic country, so it had that thing in there too,
like mosques everywhere and stuff. But you know, our experience, it was like a Western experience, you know what I mean? It was, you know, dropped off at the hotel, you know, go eat dinner at a restaurant, go to a bar, drink beer, go back to the hotel. You know, next day just did some touristy stuff. Sound check played. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, you know, like the only real reminder was that between the club and our hotel was like the British embassy that had been car bombed, you know, in December or whenever that was. So, but you know, it didn't feel like, I thought it'd just be like, this is a crazy place, you know, but you know. Moscow, on the other hand, I have no fucking clue about that.
Kind of scared.
I feel like they'll just be big dudes that like are there for right when you get paid, and they'll just be like, "Give us your money." But I'm gonna bring my taser, so I think we're fine. I mean, it's changed just because we're all better and shit, and you know, like this thing, it's like we did it at Soma again, you know, so it's like Soma's that much better, John's that much better with his gear, we're all better musicians, you know, like have like, you know, more defined like voice with our instruments and stuff like that, you know. But it's, you know, it's like with this record, it's like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know exactly what was different. I don't know. I mean, we kind of had a couple tunes beforehand. We kind of made up shit in the studio. So it's like kind of, I mean, we have 3 writing styles of like totally written out, writing together, and then like little improv chunks, you know, or whatever. So, I mean, it's kind of the same, but like I said, in the first, I don't remember having ideas for the first record except for like a djembe part here, and you know what I mean. It's like I don't remember like sitting in the mix room and being like, well, man, that bass should be like a little more compressed, and you know what I mean. It's like I don't remember shit like that, if I was like incorporated or not, you know. So I don't know. And now it seems like everybody's like really incorporated, you know, to like writing and stuff. Jeff's got a daughter, Ruby, you know, Johnny just had a kid, Hollis, you know, and it's more like just life makes it harder, you know, than like all your creative stuff, you know what I mean, or all your musical, but I shouldn't talk because I'm not really doing anything else.
Sure you are.
Man, I haven't worked on any music.
Oh, you just bought a house.
No, but I was talking about involved with music shit. I haven't worked on music since a month, like that shit we did a month after we finished the record.
Yeah, but you were buying a house.
No, I know. I'm saying musically, you know, that's my point. That like life's shit is more, you know, more hard to pull off than like. But I mean, sometimes it's hard. Well, like
it's a lot of both, man.
Yeah.
Because John was busy with the Sea and Cake for like the better part of a year.
Right.
And Tortoise really couldn't do anything then. I mean, that's definitely kind of a consideration as to why it takes so long for us to finish our records.
Which creates the situation where people want to do other stuff to, you know, maintain, be active and be creative, you know. I mean, it's a good setup, you know. I mean, that's how Isotope started too, is because, I mean, it's like you have this space and then you can start operating on a different level. You can play like smaller places, you know what I mean? You can like become a more like, as far as the business goes, like a more focused little unit, you know, or whatever. You know, it's easy for like, I mean, I don't know, for like Brokeback to go play a string of shows or whatever, you know. It's like he doesn't have to get a tour bus, doesn't, you know what I mean? It's like, but I think it helps, man, and you know, in a general way.
We get the message, we're almost done. Turn the lights off.
You know, it's I think it's a little weird. Like most bands won't like take 3 years, you know, before they have a record come out, you know. If they do, they make sure that one of them like gets arrested for something, so they're in the, you know, in the press again for a little while, which, you know, I always have good ideas about that kind of stuff, you know.